So it's really resilient, but it's really simple. Power coming from the ACG to the main incomer. From the main incomer, it comes to the changeover, which is the manual changeover. From the manual changeover, it really comes to another changeover, which is the solar changeover. From the solar changeover, it comes all the way down to save the AVR, which is the automatic voltage regulator. From the AVR, and the power goes to the XPD, which is a surge protected device. From the XPD, the power transfer. Welcome back once again to GH Electrical Engineer. I trust you're all doing well wherever you find yourself at the four corners of the planet. I know you are making a gradual plans to make your dream to becoming reality. Lovely continent called Africa, especially Ghana as well. Once again, here we are with another brief, exciting episode from GH Electrical Engineer channel. And once again, a client who will engage in our service, they got a very good transmission, and guess what, this house really supported 110 voltage and then 220 voltage as well. And then only not that, it supported a smoke detectors, fire alarm. Not only just that, they have a ceiling speakers. Not only that, when it comes to electrically, they'll be having a solar panels, and also they got a standby generator. So every single thing in case of the power, trust me, this house got it. So they got very good design. I think we came in for wiring, and they had an electrician previously. Trust me, that electrician not really bad at all. He done a great job. Not really bad at all. But in case of their designing or their protection, that is why they really engage in our service. And trust me, we have delivered a very good job for them. Trust me. And this home, we are going to do the best out of GH Electrical Engineer. And we're going to talk about our wiring later on. I think we have a service pole, which is a high voltage around here. And then we put an armor cable, which is a 25 millimeter square armor cable, which is over 100 amps. We put it on the ground, as you can see. We put it in the ground. But today we are not going to talk about it more. What is our topic today is how we design for the client, and then lighting protection device. You can see it on the roof. We have lighting protection device under your screen too. You see that lighting protection device. Mostly we put them on the roof. We call it alternating network. In Ghana here, they really call it earth arrestor. And not only this one roof, they also got another one in the storage building, which is really good. In Ghana here, they don't really invest in it. And trust me, even insurance company in Ghana, when they come to your building, in case of you want your building to be guaranteed for loan or anything else, and when they couldn't find this, trust me, most of the company will not accept your building. And trust me, this is really good. Basically, most of the Ghanaians will not even bothering to do this. That lighting protection device, it talks about a lot of things, and I'm going to talk about it on this video. So this video is all about lighting protection device and earthing, and then a good designer for the client. So let's visit the house and see the design we got for the client. We're not going to talk about the wiring is going to be covered by next video. And what we are going to do is talk about the design. As you can see, we got an amber cable directly to the ground, and then that armor cable is right here. So we're going to have a 3-phase meter serving this house, because we got 220 and at the same time 110 power point on this house. So another meter to serve the store building right there. So all this amber cable is going to support that. So we're going to have a 2 meters right here. One is a 3-phase meter and another one is a single phase. Or we also got a 1-phase meter for the stores. So let's go back to the meter room and explain what we have designed so far for the client. And then this is where the meter is going to store. We have put ammo cable from here with another extra protection all the way from here to the meter room. Let's visit the meter room and see what we have done so far. You can see, not done yet, but the design is really done neatly. What you see here, a lot of things is really going on in your mind, but it's really simple. We are coming to explain for you. Right here, it's a 220 distribution board, and then right there is 110 distribution board. Right here is a changeover, just changeover to the solar. Right there is power coming from the ECG, and at the same time standby generator. So that was another changeover. Right there is a TPN, which is a main in camera, main isolated, or main in camera. So what we are really done here is simple. Let's explain it furthermore. It's a bit resilience, but let's explain it furthermore for the lovely viewer to see what we have done so far. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe so that you always be aware when GH uploading the video, you will not miss out. So the power coming from the ECG, which is a 3-phase meter, and then all the way from that, it comes from here. This is what we normally do. We are doing everything by engineering concept. So that is why we are going to ground this, because we want every single faulty happening in the wiring going through the earth or going through the soil. So we wanted to do a very good ground, and we encountered so many problems, which is I'm going to explain it further on this more video about more details about grounding. So we have a ground for our TPM, which is the in camera, because I think my previous video I thought about anything wired or anything light pass through that is metallic, or anything that have metal and then a wired by a lighting or a power needed to be burned or needed to be having a earthing to protect the metal case, because anybody who unfortunately touch it and then this metal case have a life, definitely we are talking about a different thing. The person will be having a shock. So not only this one, trust me, let me open this a quick more, and let's see. All this thing should be earthing. I realize in Ghana they don't really do their work like that. Not really do their work like that. We have earthing in right here, because all this place needed to be get earthing. Trust me, we want everything, even a faulty current leaking from this side, should pass through the earth or the general mass of the earth. So trust me, in this house we are programming engineering program. That is why the client engaged in our service. Trust me, he got a good electrician. When we came, all the metallic things, how he installed all the conduit is really good. But the client engaged in us because of the professionalism, and trust me, you're going to get the work. So this is a earthing for this metallic, because all of this place is going to be electricity, or electrons will pass through it. So let's explain it furthermore how our electricity works here. The power coming from the ECG, which is a 3-phase meter, and directly it will come to the main in camera to isolate it. The main in camera, it come here, and then from here it come directly to the changeover, which is we got a standby generator and at the same time utility power, which is the ECG power as well. And then from this place it will come through the solar. When it comes through the solar, and then it pass through the ground, which is somewhere around here. We are going to invest on AVR, which is an automatic voltage regulator. So somewhere around here that we are going to put the AVR, like 30 to 40 kVA AVR, 3-phase AVR. And then from the AVR, when the power goes through the AVR, it goes through here, which is we are going to set here XPD, which is a surge protected device. You're going to bring it somewhere around here, and then from the surge protected device, and the power goes in right here to the distribution board, which is going through the XPD, which is the 100 amps. You go into the 100 amps because of the from the 100 amps and LCD before it served the house. So that was a design. The power comes from the TPN, come to the changeover. From the changeover, it comes to another changeover. From another changeover, it goes to the AVL. From the AVL, it comes to the SPD. From the XPD, it goes through the 100 amps. From the 100 amps, and it goes through the LCD, which is a serve protective device. From the LCD, and it serve entire breakers. It serve the entire breakers. Let me explain it furthermore details. The power coming from the TPN. From the TPN, it goes through the changeover. That was a manual changeover. It's not automatic. It's a manual changeover, which we got a standby generator power there, and then we got utility, which is the ACG line there, and then from there it go through the solar changeover. From the solar changeover, it come all the way to the ground to serve the AVR, which is we haven't invested in the AVR yet until the tiling work, everything is done, and then we are going to invest on the AVR, which is a 30 to 40 kVA. 30 to 40 kVA, somewhere around here. We are going to install the AVR around here. From the AVR right there, we are going to install the XPD, which is a surge protective device. From that surge protective device, and then the power also directly to serve the 110 voltage or 220 voltage. Before it serves the 220 voltage, it have to pass through 100 amps, which is another protective device, and from the 100 amps, and it goes to the it goes through the LCD. It goes through the LCD, which is a surge protective device. LCD, which is a residual current device. When you go to the residual current device, and then it transfer to the distribution board, all the breakers in the distribution board. So it's really resilient, but it's really simple. Power coming from the ACG to the main incomer. From the main incomer, it comes to the changeover, which is the manual changeover. From the manual changeover, it really comes to another changeover, which is the solar changeover. From the solar changeover, it comes all the way down to serve the AVR, which is the automatic voltage regulator. From the AVR, and the power goes to the XPD, which is a surge protective device. From the XPD, the power transfer back to the 100 amps. From the 100 amps, and it go back to the LCD, which is a residual current device, and then from the LCD, the power distributes to all the breakers. That is why we are going to do it for the also 110. The power goes to the AVR, and then it transfers to the something we call it transformer, a little transformer, and then that transformer will transfer the power back again to the 100 amps. From the 100 amps, it come all the way to the 110 voltage. It come 110 voltage. So that is really a good design that our client have, and I think this house is wired in smoke detectors and fire alarmed. Not only that, we also got a ceiling speakers in this house. So we are going to talk about the wiring, how we do the wiring. I think you see somewhere around here you can see the pipes, and somewhere around here you can see the pipe that we wrap up with another sheet to protect it. So from here, I think this is a design for the client. We got 110 distribution board. We got a 220 distribution board. We got one changeover for the solar panels, and we also got another changeover for standby generator and the utility power. And then we got a TPN, which is a main incomer oscillator, and then we also got a AVR and the same protective device and those things. And I think it's really good designing. It's really good designing. After you design all this, you haven't done yet. The final installation should be your earthing system. That is what we earthing system. It depending on your soil resistance. Your soil resistance. So in this house, trust me, it's a gravel area. It's a gravel area. So in case of our earth bond, trust me, we are finding difficult, but we are explaining furthermore until we get the right thing for the client. So we're going to talk about more about electrical installations, but now let's talk about the lighting protection device that we got for here, right here. I think let get closed. Let get closed. Right there, you can see something that we call it lighting protective system. In Ghana here, they call it earth arrestor. So this is installed to help us a lot. Help us a lot. So today we are going to talk about a lighting protective system. A little brief update about that, because it's really important. If I see, let me get close to it. Let me get close to it. You can see it there, right there on the on top of the roof, right there. What is lighting protection system? It simply means it's a system that protects your building from the direct strike from the sky. It's a system that protects your building from the direct contact or direct strike from the sky. Anything can strike from the sky. It can be a heat, or it can be tender strike. So this installed right there to protect an entire building. Not only this one, the story building as well. We have installed one over there to protect an entire building from lightning strike. And because in engineering concept, we call it like positive charge or negative charge in the air. It comes down every single day. It comes down. I know it's a bit technical to you. It might look a bit technical to you, but that is the concept. There is 1,000 of voltage or 1,000 of electrons. When you're talking about electrons, it's a current. It's something like a current coming from the from the earth coming. So when it comes, sometimes, trust me, it comes with a huge voltage. It comes with millions of voltage. It coming from the earth. So when it dropping down, trust me, this lighting protection device or lighting protection system would attract it. It will attract it and direct it to the ground. That is why this thing, it have to be installed. It's playing very necessity role in case of the building or building industry. This play very major role. It absorb electricity or a current coming from the sky and direct them to the earth. Even it's raining too, the tender strike, you can see tender strike on your screen. Tender strike, and then it directly to the air lighting protection system to the sky. We have a 3 lighting protection system for you to know. 3 different lighting protection system. One is alternating network. Alternating network. What you see it on your screen is alternating network, one that we installed them on the roof. And then we have one, call it down conductors. We also got a down conductors here. Let's go there and explain it further so that we can see it. We are still installation. We are wanting to give the best to the client, so we are still working on this alternating network and have to be low resistance. This right there, this right there, this right there, call down conductors. So we connect what you see it on the roof, we connect them with this copper and send them back to the ground, send them back down, and then we install the mat. You can see the mat on your screen. I think the mat is there. We have dig deep, over 7 feet ground deep, very deep, 7 feet. And then we are going to put the mat there. You can see the mat on your screen. You're going to put the mat there. It coming all the way from the roof. So it directly coming from the roof and down here. And we are going to make sure that we install it properly to get a less ohms over like 1 or 3 or a single digit ohms. Is really okay for us. So that is lighting protection system. It's really necessity to have one. It's really good to invest in one, because trust me, if you are not having it, it's better not to have it. Trust me, because this protect entire structure. Not only the entire structure, it protects you too, because when lightning or tender strike to your building, it can cause damage, and that is why we wanted to avoid those damage. So that is why we invest in this, and we need to bond it correctly so that it can absorb, or it can get attracted to the any millions of resistance, or any millions of electrons coming from the sky. It will attract them and direct them to the earth, into the earth. So that is about alternating network, which is in Ghana here they call it earth arrestor. Most of them may call it earth arrestor, and trust me, we are going to work on it to get a minimum amount for the clients, so that everything going on in this site will be good point, will be a very good point. So that is a quick update about lighting protection system, because if it doesn't have it, trust me, you are risking your building. Not only risking your building, if you are planning in future, you want to install the solar, if this is not there, trust me, the solar company in Ghana, I hope like people really cut corners. It's not that. If you are installing the solar and you don't have a lighting protection system, trust me, when you install the solar, even tender strike can destroy your solar. Simply, it can destroy your solar. So if you wanted to go by the solar, install them on your roof. Please make sure that you have a good lighting protection system. You have a good lighting protection system. So that was a quick update about lighting protection system. Yes, and let's talk about our earth resistance. I think in this house we are doing earthing. That was a headache to us, and I think that was headache to us. And the earthing that you are doing it because of sometimes you have to check your soil resistivity, because of that soil couldn't have a resistance, a good resistance, because a good